Hello and welcome to another episode of OmniWorld. It's been way too long. What have I been doing? I don't even know myself. I've had a bunch of stuff going on and I've been making a lot of different kind of videos, which hopefully you've seen. That would be good. But we are back, don't worry. We're still working on this project, and I have a feeling that this is actually going to change quite a lot quite quickly. This is coming down, at least this half of it is, because the more I look at it, the more I'm starting to not like it, and it's just, I don't know, the bottom half's okay, but it's very one block. I didn't put in enough cobble or anything, and it's just kind of, this is too big for a start, and I'm starting to not like it very much, so that's got to change. The next thing that's going to change is actually this thing here. I've been spending a lot of time, and I've got the roof most of the way around, apart from this section here, so it goes all the way through and all the way through here. But I have a feeling I'm actually going to change it. Probably not the roof. The roof might stay, so I'm going to show you that now, actually, because I could do with some opinions. And you guys are pretty great for that. So this is what I'm thinking of doing instead. Something more like this. It's more, well, how do you say this? It's busier. It's much busier, but I haven't put in these stone slabs. Let me just finish it off. It is much busier, but I like it. There's a lot more detail in it. There's a lot more depth, and I think it's better, personally. I am liking it. I did the smart thing of not trying it on the side that already had the roof, so I can't really see how it looks with that. But I like this. I'm kind of leaning towards it, and the second option is having these stairs turned up and having the stairs this way around. That's something that I'm definitely going to need to try and decide on. But I want some opinions, so let me know what you think about this as opposed to the outside wall. I'll get you in a bit, Honourable, hold on. Which I haven't done around here either. You've seen it, what I just showed you basically. I think we'll keep the entrance where you come in, the inside with the wood, because it matches the buildings, it looks right. But especially around the outside, I think I might do this. Maybe I'll try and get some more oak in there so it kind of fits better with the rest of the stuff going on. I don't know, but I could do with some opinions. Let me know. That would be good. And there's probably some other stuff I've got to show you, but before we do that, this here is what we're doing today. We're just going to do it. We're just going to build the house. I've decided that I'll just fit this in however it fits. It can just happen. Let's get the house built. I have been playing around quite a lot with a sort of steampunk style thing, and I'm getting really inspired from it. It's a style I've always liked, but I've never even considered building it because it's not easy. Let me put it like that. It's been pretty difficult, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm actually quite excited to get this up. I've got a couple of houses that I've designed in creative, and I think we're going to go with one of those designs. But the good thing about this style is, and hopefully I can kind of show you that when we're building it, is that I found you can just kind of take a formula and just kind of pile things on top of each other, and it just works. It looks good, and I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today, hopefully. Probably, at least in this episode. I don't know if it's going to be for today. Today for me, I am quite literally half asleep. I've been up like 18 hours now, on like 3 hours sleep maybe. I had a presentation this morning and did the smart thing of leaving it to the last minute to actually do that. And so I was up super late doing that, which was great fun, obviously, and then had to be up at 7:30 to go and do that, and I barely slept, which is my fault, but I'm half asleep. So yeah, excuse me if I'm not as excitable as I probably never am. But before we do all this, I'm actually going to do something a little bit special for you guys, because you deserve this. You should have seen by now. You should have seen my 100 video. Oh. Be right back. Right, I think we're back. I think something happened that wasn't very great, and we didn't. I lagged incredibly. And I'm not really sure what happened for the last 20 minutes. I've been trying to reconnect to the server and it just wouldn't have it. But I think we're back. I don't think we're doing too well, but yeah, this is happening basically. But I can finish what I was saying, and what I wanted to do was off camera anyway, so it's fine. What I was saying was that I've just uploaded, by the time you see this, hopefully if I've done this correctly, my 100th video special deal thing. Yeah, look at that, that's not good, is it? And it had me thinking, and it's been quite a while since I've been doing this, and over time we've picked up a fair few people who've jumped on board to help out and stuff. All of you people who have been very, very great, and you've been incredibly supportive and all of that great stuff. And so, yeah, I can't even eat this. So I figured what we should do. We've got massive hallway and nothing to do with it, so I'm going to use these signs, and everyone who has allowed me to see that they subscribed can go on my wall. You actually have an option. I don't know if anybody knows this on Facebook. Facebook? You might have one on Facebook. You have an option on YouTube where you can allow it so people can see who you have subscribed to. And if you have that turned off, it means that I can't see if you subscribe to me. So if you have, and you want to go on a sign and you're not there, or you know you have that option set or whatever, let me know in the comments, then I'll sort that out. Also, there's a few people who now with the whole Google Plus thing have their full names as well, and I don't want to go putting people's full names on, so I probably just go with the first name and an initial. But again, if you don't want me to do that, let me know and I'll take it down straight away. And as well, I know a few of you have your own channels, so I'll be putting a little red YT at the bottom, or YouTube or something, so people know that you have a channel and they can go along and see what you're doing and what have you. I'm going to end up tearing these walls down because I'm going to want to rebuild them, because I want to use that other design. But I think the insides might stay, so we might get away with this. But I'll just replace them. It's fine. So I'm actually going to do that now, and I'll see you in a sec. And welcome back. It is in fact a brand new day for me. I gave in the end. I had too many problems with lag, and I just went to bed. Today, however, is the 1st of April, which, as some of you probably know, is April Fool's Day. And so, as always, Mojang have taken it upon themselves to give us something pretty special. And what they've given us is this. Oh, we're now all villagers. Every single one of us is a villager. All of our skins have been changed. They've claimed that they've been taken over by villagers. And I don't know how many of you remember, or how many of you have been watching for that long, but you might remember we covered a resource pack a little while back, and I can tell you that I don't have that on. Where is it? There it is. Mojang have done that for us. So now, as we walk around, we get those hilarious sounds once again. Oh man, I just love this resource pack. I knew that I should have kept it, but it actually works now as well. When we let's just do that. When we break things, it says dig rather than the really long slow motion one that we had before. Yeah, I'm not sure why that happened. But yeah, here you go. You're all on my wall. All of you wonderful people. The people, as I said before, who didn't allow me to see that you have subscribed to me. I obviously can put you up there because I don't know who you are, but yeah, just vote in the comments and you can go up there. And anybody who plays on this server, make sure you have a look at the list, because there are actually a fair few people on there who do have channels, so I suggest you go and take them out. Take them out, check them out. Don't take them anywhere. Unless, of course, you really enjoy their content, then, of course, get them some nice wine, some flowers, take them out, whatever it is you do. And we are going to build this house. Like I said, I'm going to try this a little bit differently, actually. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try and do it all on camera, and I think I'm just going to speed through parts. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work out yet, so we might cut. But what I was saying earlier was that you can, basically with this style of build, I've been looking at tutorials and stuff on how to build this stuff, and I found this really great tutorial, and this guy basically, instead of saying put this block here, here and here, and then put blocks here, here and here, and so on, he basically told you why he had chosen to do that, and it kind of gives you a formula almost that you can use to then go and build the same style. And I'm hopefully going to be able to explain that, because I think it would be pretty good. It'd be a bit more useful than just watching me build if anybody is into this style, and I wouldn't know why you aren't, because it looks incredible in my opinion. And I'm actually really excited, and I'm feeling really inspired again, which I know I mentioned a few times a little while back. I was really uninspired about the last when we were working on the safari park. I was just really uninspired, and I just wasn't into it. This time, however, I've been building like crazy over in the creative world. With a style, trying out all different shapes and sizes and placements and things, And I'm actually really excited now. So I have a feeling a lot of this is going to end up changing to suit the more steampunk style. I don't want too many floating airships and too many crazy things, but I love the houses. So I think we're going to stick with the houses, and probably for the expensive area, the rich people's area is probably going to be that kind of style as well. And maybe we'll stick to more of a Nordic kind of medieval feel for the poorer people. But what I did was I carried on with this wall, and I've gone round a bit more so you can actually get a good view of it now. And I'm starting to think twice about the moss. I think it might be a little bit too much. Like over here we've got 1 or 2 pieces, and that's quite cool. And my other problem, which might be apparent to some of you, is this part here. It actually cuts off early if we follow that pattern. So that's going to need some working, and I don't want to have to redo all of this. But I probably will. Fine. Right, so let's get started with this then. I probably... Oh, I wish I could do that again. I probably don't have all the stuff I need, but I have the stuff to get started. Not quite enough. So whereabouts do we want to place this? Now, the way these kind of buildings work is they sort of go in... I don't know how to explain this. They taper, but they start off small and they get bigger and go outwards. It pretty much just defies logic all round, so it suits Minecraft very well. So you'll start with like a little base here, and you'll go up and out like this, and you'll have a bigger part on the top and bigger features up top. So that's kind of how this works. So for the base, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with 4 high, and I'm going to place these in odd numbers. So for this part, we're going to go like this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that is an odd number. I thought for a second then that wasn't an odd number. That's because we got 2. So I'm going to give this one 3 apart, so this side is longer. And I want to go up 3. I want to go up 4 high, and I'll explain that. I'll explain that more in a second. Do you remember the A3's resource pack we had for, what was that map even called? Reverie. That was hilarious, man. That had me in stitches. But we want to go with odd numbers, and that's simply because odd numbers work really well with Minecraft. And that's simply to do with symmetry. Let me find my pick. And symmetry is actually one thing we pretty much completely ignore with this kind of build. And again, I'll get to this as we go through. It'll make more sense. But it really helps with making buildings look right. If it's even, you end up with one space, so you'd have like a block, door, block. So it kind of looks off center, which sometimes actually looks quite cool. I probably will end up doing that with this, but who knows. So I'm going to fill this in with cobblestone, and this is going to give it a bit of depth. And then we're going to want to put some more cobblestone. I should have some in these chests. So the reason we want to go 4 high then is because we are going to want to... Where is all my cobblestone? Oh, is it all the way back over there? Alright, I'll go get it and try and explain this on the way. The reason why we want to go with 4 high is because we're going to do a similar situation to this. So, for example, if I was building this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the log's on the 5th. So really the wall's only 4 high, but we've built 5 so we can add the log around the top. And we're going to go with a similar kind of thing. As I said, it kind of gets bigger, it tapers out. And so to suit that, we're going to go with 4 high. I think we're going to end up doing that with most things here. Here we go. What don't we need? Probably will need some of this. I'll come back for you, fella. I'm leaving this on, by the way. I'm not turning it off. I've turned the music up to full as well because I don't think we heard the music last time, or maybe it's a new edition. But the music is absolutely hilarious. They've actually redone the Game of Thrones soundtrack as well for the menu page, which is quite funny. I don't know the soundtrack, so I don't know how close it is or whether it's just a very similar thing. But apparently, yeah, they redid it. I did try and watch Game of Thrones. I tried a few times, actually. Probably twice. And I just... Both times I got most of the way through the first episode, and I just... found myself really distracted. I just wasn't really into it, so I kind of skipped over that series, so probably missed out, but that's fine. I'm not overly fussed, I guess. Same thing with Breaking Bad, actually. Everyone went pretty crazy about that. I watched 3 seasons of it, but still it was entertaining, don't get me wrong, it was entertaining, but I found my problem was that I didn't care what happened to the people, if that makes any sense. I didn't feel the need to go and watch the next episode to find out what happens, because I didn't really care. So what we want to do then is we've put this one in to give it some depth, because obviously we could just fill it in like this, but that just makes everything very flat, and I'm using a different block as well for the same effect. It adds a bit of depth and some variation into it. I think we've done a bit of this all around, so I've probably gone through this before, and most of you probably know how to build better than me anyway. But I figure I'd just go through and explain what and why I'm doing things. And to further that depth, we're using the same kind of situation with these walls. It's actually where I picked up this idea of bringing it out like this, and I think this is a really cool feature. Or do we want to go too high? I stick with one high. One high works. Yeah, I think this is a really cool way of adding some depth and something interesting into your builds. Also, you will definitely have noticed that we don't have an entrance, and that is on purpose. We'll get to that afterwards. Because a few of the builds I've done, I've actually had this situation where I have this bottom part here, which almost acts as a basement, but a lot of the times it's unused, and then I have a set of stairs that go up to the first floor, which is where the entrance is, and I really like that personally, so we're going to go with that. What about this? Do we want to come out here? Maybe we do. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think we do. Let's come out on these parts as well then. Let's bring this bit out, and then we can add some design into the wall. Oh, look at that. What saved us. We can add some designs into these walls. So what have we got with us? We've got some stone. We don't have many though. What other slabs do we have with us? Some stone brick slabs. We've got some walls. Keep the cracks just in case. Cobblestone stairs might have been a good plan actually, just in case we want to use those. So let's get those on our bar and let's have a little look then. So for this part we've got 3 wide gaps. So we can go with something along these lines maybe. I really like this idea of upside down stairs with these things on, and walls give it a really good effect as well in my opinion, so let's try and implement a wall possibly. Maybe like this, like that, maybe? No, I don't like how this bit's still open. They're kind of just hovering, and I don't really like that. I don't want to be too quiet, but I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing, so it's not really serving too well for a video. I guess this sort of thing doesn't, but that's fine. It's fine. We can have some interest. In the meantime, oh yeah, I think I mentioned this. It's been a whole day since I did that now, so I can't say I honestly remember. But I think I told you about how yesterday I was very tired, but it was a good day nonetheless, because I finally became a real man. What I mean by that is, I am terrible at spicy food. Like I'm not just, I can't handle it. I am really, really, really bad. I remember this one time I was at a friend's house, and we had these sausages, and they were slightly peppery, and my eyes were watering. I couldn't even eat them. They weren't spicy at all. They weren't supposed to be. It's just the amount of pepper made them a little bit spicy, I guess. Yeah, and I couldn't handle it, and it's just the way I've always been. I've just never been very good at it at all. Okay, I'm feeling that. Yeah, that's cool. We can go with that. Let's just stick with this kind of pattern then, and I'll finish my story. So yeah, I can't. It's just something I can't do. I just can't handle it. I don't know why. Some people can, some people can't. I personally have never understood the whole point of it. I mean, why would you choose to make something hurt your mouth if you could just have it and not hurt your mouth? I guess is the point. I mean, yeah, sure, there's a bit of flavour in it, but at least you aren't in tears for like 5 hours gulping down gallons of milk. But then I figured the majority of people aren't like me and can, in fact, just eat it. So that's fine. Good for them. But yesterday, and this was a big triumph on my part, we have this, I'm pretty sure this is very popular, and I'm pretty sure this is in Americas and probably other places, but we have a restaurant called Nando's, and they sell Portuguese peri-peri chicken, which of course, as it sounds, is spicy chicken, and I like, wow, get off, stop it. I've been there a fair bit, and I always go for the plain one, because, as I just said, I just didn't think I'd be able to do it. And I've been a few times, and every time I've gone plain, and the other time I said, no, this is it. Finally, I'm going to be a real man. I'm just gonna go and get the medium one. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I didn't realize that was going to happen. Yeah, we're going with that. I was like, I'm just going to get a medium. It'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen? And I did it. And I ate the whole thing. I did it. I finally, it probably sounds like no sort of achievement whatsoever, but it was for me. I finally did it, and I didn't die. I'm still here to tell the tale. It wasn't as unpleasant as I expected. in all fairness as well, which was quite nice. I expected to be in tears flow. The second I said medium spice, I completely regretted it. But nonetheless, I managed it and I didn't die, and that's a good thing. So there we go then, we've got this kind of design going, and there's no real thought behind this, in all honesty, so that's why I didn't really explain it too much. I'm just kind of throwing stairs and slabs and walls in and trying to give it a bit of depth, some kind of detail, so I'm sure you can see from that. Let's get our dirt on a bar, because we need to go up here now. I have a feeling I'm going to die a lot building this, and this stuff we'll all sort out later once we come to it. And basically just building the structure. We're just kind of throwing everything together, and I want spruce wood, I think. Or do I want to use oak? I want to use oak. No, I do. Okay, so we're going to use oak. And we're going to go around it like this. So we're going to come out one. And we're going to go around on that 4th level that I was speaking of. Chop. This resource pack just makes the whole game that much better. We really should have kept it. I gotta say, it's really cool when people do things like this. I don't really see the point in April Fool's Day, because by now everybody knows what it is, and as soon as somebody says or does something that's slightly out of character or just sounds a little bit unbelievable, then you know why. And I never see any good April Fool's things, very rarely. Google and YouTube usually do a pretty good job of it. This year's was actually quite good as well. I thought it was quite amusing. It sadly wasn't as good as it could have been, but they actually did it, which made me happy. But yeah, Mojang they're always on it as well, and it's quite cool to see developers like this do it, and it's nice to know that they're spending their hard-earned time on this rather than the snapshot that we haven't had in 10 weeks. I'm not mad. I appreciate they probably work very hard. Speaking of which, I might actually have a new snapshot video out soon. I'm hoping there'll be one on Thursday. There hasn't been one in a while, so there should be. But even if there isn't, there's actually a couple of things I missed in snapshots, and there's a few things that I think everybody missed in snapshots, and I noticed it the other day, and I feel like we should probably go over it. And there's a whole 3D modeling thing that's now going on, and I really want to get a part of that, so I think I'm probably going to do one of those, but don't hold me to it, because we're not 100% sure yet. So we're going to go up another 4 on these corners, and this is going to be our second/main layer. So we're going to go 4 for the same reason as we did before, and I actually need a ton of wool. I've just remembered I don't have wool. So what we want to do is I'm going to fill all these in, because we're going to go for 1x1 panels. You can, if you want, obviously split these out and have as many panels as you like, but this is why we went with the odd numbers, because we can go with an even pattern. I mean, it's an odd pattern, but yeah, you know what you're saying. So I'm going to fill this in, and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so there we are, we're all filled in, and what we're going to want to do then is fill this with white wool. Obviously, there's no windows or doors at the moment, but that's something I'm going to actually add on at the end. As I was saying, this kind of structure, I feel it kind of just depends on what you end up doing. Every time I've done this, I've built this rough base, and then what I'll do is I'll go back around and I'll say, right, this could be an entrance, we could have windows here, we could have this here, we could do things, and that's kind of the way I like to work. So I need to go and get some wool, so I'm actually going to have to cut, and I'll see you in a sec. Alright, and welcome back. I've got myself a bunch of wool, and so what I'm going to do with this is fill in this part in here. Now, one thing I will say, and what I think has helped out a lot with this, is I've actually been building in resource packs, specifically the John Smith pack. And I'm actually getting a little bit annoyed with it, because I use it, and I build in it, and it looks great, and I come out, and then it's just not as good. It's really frustrating me, because there's nothing wrong with the Minecraft textures. I mean, don't get me wrong, these things still look good in the standard texture, but they just look that much better in the resource packs, that I just kind of wish that was not standard, but more of a easier option, and I kind of wish we could build in them more of the time, but I know that most people prefer vanilla, so we're going to stick with that, because in the end of the day, I guess this benefits you more than me. I can still look at this in my texture pack whenever I want. So that's not a problem. So there we go, we've got this first floor on, and what I've actually realised when I made that cut is that we're running on quite long. So this may be sped up. Probably, in fact it will. We're actually going to add another floor on. We've gone up 4 high again, so we can do this. So I'm going to run around, place these lugs. I'll see you in a sec. Well, that worked out. Alright, we're back, and I have run out of wool, which is great. So I'm going to have to go farm some more sheeps, and then we can do the rest of it. But if the time I saw earlier is anything to go by, we've run on. So I'm actually going to have to call it there. But that just means this build process is going to be a 2-part episode, but that's not the worst thing, because we get to go through it together, and we get to actually understand how this thing is put together, and hopefully that will actually benefit you as well. And then if you like this style or this building, you can go along and build the same kind of things. So you can see what I was talking about with the tapering now, how it starts off smaller and gets bigger. That's quite apparent. And also it won't be just like this thin. We're going to have parts that come out of this side and that side most probably, or maybe we have the higher one there, the lower one here, and something on these sides, and huge roofs and weird roofs that link together and all of that great stuff. Don't you worry, it's going to be exciting, at least in my opinion. So unfortunately, that is all we're going to have time for, and I'm going to call it there. I still haven't done this market because I am lazy. I've had practically no time, as I've explained. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. So make sure you stick around, like all of these wonderful people, and if you're on the server, come and look for these red YTs. And head over to their channels. Oh, I don't know if I said this earlier, I meant to say this. If I missed your channel, that's because you had a 0 underneath your name, or it was blank. So I assumed that you didn't have a channel, which, thinking back of it, was probably a bit unfair. But if you do, or you're just about to start one, or if you start one in the future, let me know in the comments and I'll sort that. But yeah, I'll see you next time.